What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the stream, guys. Appreciate you being here as always, man. We got another Showdown slate to talk about today. We got Clippers and Suns Game 6. Clippers were able to get a win last game on the road in Phoenix to extend this series. So we're going to talk about the Showdown slate, kind of break it down, answer your questions. And as always, we'll talk about Prize Picks as well. We are partnered with Prize Picks. They are the sponsor of this video. If you guys have not checked out Prize Picks yet and you would like to, if you do sign up and use my promo code NOAH, that will give you a 100% match on your first deposit up to $100. Prize Picks also doing a little promo right now. If you do look on the screen, they're doing their $1 million promo pretty much. This is a way for them to try and get new users in. It's a chance to give people a shot at $1 million. They give you 5 players. I'm pretty sure it's the 5 top guys, PG, Booker, Chris Paul, Ayton, and Jackson. It's those 5 guys, and you have to guess the exact amount of points that each player scores. If you go 5 for 5, you win $1 million. So check out Prize Picks, guys, if you have not yet. And as always, if you have Prize Picks specific questions, you can throw those in the chat. But what's up, everyone? What's up, guys? Anyone else? Yeah, I saw there was a lot of ties last night. The Lou Will at captain lineup with Giannis, Middleton, Drew, Bogdan, Herter. That lineup was duplicated. So many people had that lineup, but it was the winning lineup. You pretty much had to have it. Morris at captain with CP3, PG, Booker, Ayton, and Batum. I mean, I think that's pretty solid, Ryan. If I'm not paying up for Paul George at captain, I think my next favorite guy is just to go cheap and play, Marcus Morris. Marcus Morris is definitely too cheap right now. I mean, he had a good game last game, played like 40 minutes, and Draftkings lowered his price to $4K. So I really don't know what they're doing right now. I think he's definitely a great value on the Showdown slate. Morris or George at captain? Yeah, I mean, I have no problems with either one, Jose. I think, those are my 2 favorite captains. Either pay up for PG or go cheap with Marcus Morris. I would lean PG just because of the safety and the massive floor and upside that he has. But, yeah, definitely both guys I think are really good captain options. Yeah, even though, Giannis got hurt last night. I don't know what he finished with, but he was still in the winning lineup, even though he got hurt. Just shows you, how crazy these Showdown slates are. I hit on Lou Will over on Bobby Portis over 0.5 threes and under Holiday Middleton. Hey, good job, Victor. Good job, my man. I almost had a good night on Prize Picks, so with Prize Picks you have to pick at least 2 players you have to pick at least 1 player from each team. Once Trae Young got ruled out, I loved the over on Lou Will. I love the over on Bogdan and Herter. All 3 of those guys hit their over, but then you had to pick someone from Milwaukee, and I went over on Drew Holiday. That came up short. I went over on Middleton. That came up short. I went over on Bobby Portis. He came up short as well. So super frustrating. I lost my power plays because of that. All the Hawks guys I liked went over, but then the Bucks guys came up short for me. I think if the game would have stayed close and they would have played those final minutes, they probably would have got there. But obviously the blowout, they got pulled a little bit early. If Zubac plays, do you like Batum under 13.5? I mean, 13.5 is a somewhat low projection. I think Zubac, if he does play, might not be fully healthy. They said he's got a sprained MCL, and that doesn't sound like something that you just, heal from in, a short amount of time. So if they do play Zubac tonight, I think he might be somewhat limited. I still kind of like the over on Batum. Already took that on Prize Picks earlier today. I'm hoping that Zubac gets ruled out again, but even if Zubac plays, I think Batum could still get like 20, 25 minutes and definitely go over 13 fantasy points. So honestly, Brandon, I think I'd take the over still. Congrats, Noah, on being able to attend Game 6. I believe this will be your first. Have fun and enjoy yourself, man. Yes, my first ever NBA game. I'm going to be at the Hawks-Bucks game in Atlanta Saturday for Game 6. It's my first ever NBA game I'm attending, so I'm really excited. Especially, being able to go to a playoff game. The atmosphere is just totally different. It's going to be awesome. Morris or Batum at captain? I would probably lean with Marcus Morris. I think Marcus Morris just gives you more upside, and he probably plays more minutes as well. Prize Picks, yeah, we'll hit on some Prize Picks I like. I should have pulled them up already. A lot of the ones I talked about in my video last night I still like. Over on Marcus Morris. If Zubac's out, I like the over on Batum, the over on Terrence Mann, who I would assume would start again. But there's some other guys that I have some interest in, like really all the big 3 from Phoenix. I kind of like their overs. Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, Chris Paul. I'm fine taking the over on all those guys. But in terms of the single stat, I haven't looked too much into this. Let's see. I mean, the single stat, like, yeah, I just maybe maybe over zero point 0.5 assists for Cameron Johnson. I know he hasn't done that in 3 or 4 of his last 5, but just getting 1 assist, he could maybe do that. I haven't looked too much into the single stat though. Mainly, I'm trying to focus on the fantasy points right now because I think that's where the biggest edge is. Just in my opinion, that's where I've had the most success. So yeah, over on Morris. If Zubac's out, Man, Batum, I like those. And then if you want to take the over on the big 3 from Phoenix, I think those are fine too. Would you take a chance on Booker at captain? I mean, if I weren't going to pay up for Paul George at captain, I think Booker would probably be the next guy I would pay up for at captain. I mean, we know Devin Booker has upside. He hasn't been great so far in the series, but he did finally kind of get back on track last game. Had a decent shooting game. Finished with like 45 DK points. Look, we kind of knew this was going to happen at some point. Like, Booker's not going to put up 29 DK points every night. At some point, he was going to go for 45, 50, and it happened last game. He's going to play 44 minutes, could definitely give you 45, 50 DK points here. If I can find the salary, I'd rather play Paul George, obviously, but I think Devin Booker is still a solid pay-up option at captain. I don't think he'll be that popular in the captain spot, so a little way to get different. Hey, let's get it tonight, Patrick. Let's get it, my man. I'm doing well. Captain PG with Beverly, Booker, Cam Johnson, Morris, and Chris Paul. I think that's pretty solid, Chichi. I think it's pretty solid. $5 super chat from my man Victor. Thank you for all the content, brother. I look forward to it every day, and I'm glad to hear that, Victor. Glad to hear that, my man. I appreciate you tuning in, and thanks for the $5 super chat, my man. Thank you. Appreciate that. Glad you're enjoying the content. Thoughts on Cousins? Yeah, I mean, even if Zubac doesn't play tonight, like, I don't have that much interest in Cousins. So Cousins, he had a really good game last game, but he was also super, super cheap. He was, the minimum, he was $1,000 last slate. Now he's $4,800. Plus, like, he only played 11 minutes last game. If you tell me tonight that Cousins is only going to play like 10 to 12 minutes, I mean, he's not a guy I really have interest in. Could he go out there and put up 25 DK points in 10 minutes? He absolutely could, but there's just other values I prefer that'll play way more minutes than him. So for me, I don't have that much interest in Cousins, even if Zubac's out. You like the under on Zubac then? Yeah, if I was going to take that, Brandon, I'd take the under. I personally did not take that, but if you made me choose between the over or under for Zubac, I'd take the under. Cam Johnson or Cameron Payne? Give me Cam Johnson. Cameron Payne, I've been off of a lot in the playoffs. Just with Booker healthy, with CP3 healthy, just not enough opportunity right now for Cameron Payne, so I'd take Johnson. Thoughts on the Bucks blowing the game yesterday? I mean, yeah, that's a game you gotta win. No Trae Young. I know Giannis got hurt. He got hurt like kind of late in the game though, like in the third quarter, I think. You gotta win that game. I mean, no Trae Young, chance to go up 3-1, heading back home. That's a game you need to win. The fact that they lost, and now it's a tie series. Atlanta has a ton of momentum. Giannis is hurt. I mean, I know Trae's hurt as well, but yeah, it's not looking great for the Bucks right now. I mean, I think Atlanta definitely has a shot to win because it doesn't look like Giannis is going to play on Thursday. He's already been ruled doubtful. So if they don't have Giannis Thursday and Trae maybe comes back, it's going to be tough for the Bucks. It's going to be a close game for sure. Fade on Cousins and take Batum. Yeah, I like that. I'd definitely rather play Batum over Cousins. Because if Zubac's out, we saw last game, Batum played 30 minutes off the bench. So minutes are key. Batum's going to play way more minutes. I'd rather go to him. And he's cheaper as well. Reggie, Bridges, or Paul for last piece? Definitely Chris Paul there for me. If you have the salary to get Chris Paul, I'd take him there. Is it a good idea to fade Booker tonight? I mean, if I was playing one lineup, I don't know if I'd have Devin Booker or not. I don't think I would, but if you're playing like 20 lineups, I mean, you want to have some Devin Booker exposure. But yeah, if you're just playing one lineup, I don't think you have to play Devin Booker. If there's one guy I think you probably have to play, it's probably Paul George. I have a dilemma, Noah. Booker or Ayton. Beverly was in foul trouble, so to me, that's why Booker got loose. If Zubac is out, I don't know what to do about Ayton. What say you? I'd probably take Booker there, IMAX. I just think Booker has a little bit more upside. I think he plays a few more minutes. So I would take Booker over Ayton, just straight up. Odds of Paul and Booker both in the optimal. I mean, I think it could definitely happen. If Paul puts up 45 and Booker goes for 45, I mean, there's a pretty good chance that both of them are in the winning lineup. So, yeah, you can definitely play Paul and Booker together. I have no problems with it. Reggie as captain. I mean, I'm fine with Reggie at captain. Like, if I was going to, like, one of those mid-range guys, it'd probably either Ayton or Reggie as, like, a mid-range captain option I'm fine with. But, again, I think, for me, I want to try and pay up for Paul George, Booker, or go cheap with a guy like Marcus Morris in the captain spot. My entry I did last night, I got Beverly over 17.5, Bridges under 24, Morris over 20.5, Ayton over 37. What you think? I mean, I really like the Morris over 20.5. I took that myself. I also took the Ayton over 37, so I like both of those. Bridges under 24. I mean, that's not one I feel great about because I feel like at any night, Bridges could just have one of those games where he gets like, a couple steals, gets a couple blocks, gets like 10 rebounds, and he goes over 24, but he's not been playing that well lately, so if the trend continues, Bridges should go under 24. Then Beverly, I mean, yeah, Beverly's been getting like 30 minutes right now. If Beverly plays 30 minutes tonight, he probably goes over 17.5. So, Super Brandon, I think that's pretty solid. I like all those picks. I would say the one I'm least confident in is the Bridges under 24. But if the trend continues, he'll go under that because he's been so bad lately. I got under on Crowder, Bridges, Kennard, and under on Crowder, Bridges, Kennard, and under on Booker 27.5. I mean, yeah, like Crowder, Bridges, Kennard, they've all been terrible lately. Like for fantasy points, and their fantasy point per minute average has been really bad. The under on Booker, that's one I'm not confident in, but yeah, Crowder, Bridges, Kennard, I'm fine taking the under there because they've just been so bad lately. I joined Prize Picks with your promo code. Thank you. I won last night. Hey, I'm glad to hear that, Maria. Glad you had some success, and thank you for joining. Thank you for using my promo code. That lets Prize Picks know to continue to sponsor me, continue to promote my channel. So thanks for using my code. How confident in Zubac playing? I mean, I would be surprised if he plays. The fact that he has I'm not a doctor, but the fact that he has a strained MCL, like that doesn't sound very good. So I don't think Zubac plays, but we'll probably know, 7:30, 8 o'clock, like an hour before lock. We'll probably get an update then. Do you like Mann? I like him a lot more if Zubac's out because he started last game with Zubac out. So if Zubac's out again, I think Mann's pretty solid. If Zubac plays, I'd be a little bit hesitant to go there. But yeah, Mann's still fine. Now for me, value-wise, I think I'd rather go to guys like Marcus Morris, Batum, who's cheaper. I think I'd rather play those guys if I'm looking for, options 5K and below. Cam Johnson as a last piece in, I'm fine with that, Ryan. I've kind of been off of Cam Johnson a lot, in these playoffs. I don't really play Cam Johnson ever, but on a showdown slate as a last piece in, I'm totally fine with that. What scrub makes the winning lineup? I mean, assuming the game stays close, I don't think any of these guys down here get minutes, so I guess maybe like a Luke Kennard. Like if Luke Kennard comes off the bench and just starts making threes, he could definitely, make the optimal lineup, but I have no confidence that actually happens. If Zubac plays, what changes would you still get Zubac? I mean, if Zubac plays, I don't know exactly, how healthy he's going to be, how many minutes he actually plays. If he does play, I don't have confidence that he gets his, 30, 35 minutes that he's been getting lately. I probably would be off of him, honestly, unless we get word that he's full go, no limit. Then I think Zubac's a good option. But if he does play, that would, that bump down Batum, that would bump down Marcus Morris a little bit. But I would definitely still have interest in Marcus Morris. I mean, I think Marcus Morris, regardless, is going to play 30-plus minutes. And he probably would play more if Zubac were out again. 2-game slate with Giannis out. Do you think Trey may rest his ankle again tomorrow night? I mean, I really don't know, Adam. I don't think they would rest Trey. I think if Trey's ready to play, he's going to play tomorrow. But, we'll see. He's a game-time decision, I think. So we'll find out at some point tomorrow. But my best guess is that if Trey's ready to play and he's fully healthy, he's going to play tomorrow. If they can get a win tomorrow and then go back home with a chance to close out the series, I mean, that's going to be huge for Atlanta. Is Bridges worth the last piece in my lineup? I mean, I don't feel great about Bridges right now, Steve. I mean, he's just been so bad lately. The minutes have not been as high either. Like last game, he only played 28 minutes. The game before that, he only played 26, or 2 games before that, he only played 26. He's just not a guy that really has much upside. Like, a good game for Bridges at this point is 25, 30 DK points. And even if he does that, there's a pretty good chance that he doesn't make the winning lineup. So I think if Bridges was 5K, I would like him a lot more. But at 6,600, there's just guys that are cheaper that I would much rather play. Honestly, if Zubac plays and he's full go, I would definitely rather play Zubac over Bridges, and he's cheaper than him. Should I lock anyone right now for prize picks since the Zubac news could affect the scores? I mean, I think, taking the over on Marcus Morris, taking the over on Batum, that's something I already did. So if you want to take that and hope that Zubac gets ruled out again, that's definitely something I would look to do. Because if Zubac's out again, it's very likely that Morris and Batum both go over their projection. And then Terrence Mann would also benefit. You could maybe take the over there if you wanted to as well. Crowder or Mann for last piece in? I think if Zubac's out again and Mann starts, then I'd probably take Mann. But if Zubac plays and Mann goes back to the bench, then I'd lean Crowder. So just kind of a wait and see for now. But I think I would lean Mann if Zubac's out. How would you start your lineup for a GPP? Will Morris at captain will be considered a GPP? Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I think you can definitely play Marcus Morris at captain. I mean, we saw last slate, Lou Williams was really popular, but he was the guy you had to have at captain because he did so well and he was so cheap that he opened up the rest of the stars. That could definitely be the case today. If Marcus Morris has another game where he puts up 30, 35 DK points, there's a very good chance he makes the line. He's the winning captain because he's going to allow you to pay up for Booker, Paul George, Chris Paul, those guys. So yes, you can definitely play Marcus Morris at captain. Cameron Payne or Cam Johnson or Mann, I would definitely rather have Terrence Mann. Can Jay Crowder wake up in another opportunity to close out and go to the finals? I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, he's been bad lately. He hasn't really been doing much, at least not fantasy-wise. Could he have a good game today and finally, make some threes? Sure, but I don't really like Jay Crowder that much. Both him and Bridges they just don't have a ton of upside. Is Cam Payne in play now that he's 4,200? Probably not for me, IMAX. Like, even at 4,200, there's guys priced around him. Patrick Beverley, Marcus Morris, Batum. There's just guys I still would rather play over Cameron Payne. I mean, Cameron Payne could put up 20 DK points in 15 minutes, and there's a pretty good chance he still doesn't make the optimal lineup. With Giannis doubtful, you like Portis for the classic slate, trying to get my center spot right? Yeah, I think if Giannis does not play tomorrow, Bobby Portis definitely going to benefit. But there's a chance that Bobby Portis would start as well. I don't think they would do that, but yeah, we've seen, during the regular season, Bobby Portis really benefited when Giannis was out. So yeah, definitely like Portis. I don't know what his price is, though, on the 2-gamer. I haven't looked at the 2-game slate. Lou Williams only had 11% captain. Wow, I'm surprised by that. What was his final ownership? I thought he was pretty high overall. I mean, he was clearly like the best value play on the slate once Trey got ruled out. But I really haven't even been playing Showdown that much lately. I've just been focusing on prize picks. Pollock captain just to stay away from chalk lineups. I mean, I'm fine with that, Jose. Like, I think most people are going to pay up for Paul George at captain. I think Paul George is the best captain option at the top, but he's also going to get the most ownership. So if you want to get a little different, play Devin Booker or Chris Paul at captain. I don't see any reason why you can't do that on a Showdown slate. Reggie, Batum, Craig, or Mann, Morris, and Batum. So Reggie and Craig or Mann and Morris. Give me Mann and Morris. I mean, Craig, I don't know how many minutes Craig really plays tonight. I don't think he really played that much at all last game. Let's see. I mean, he played 11 minutes last game, but yeah, I don't really like Craig that much, so I would take the second one there. Jackson or Ayton. I think I'd give the edge to DeAndre Ayton just because I think Ayton has a little bit of a higher ceiling. I mean, Reggie Jackson's been really good. He's been super consistent ever since Kawhi went down, but we really haven't seen like a massive game from Reggie Jackson, whereas Ayton, he can put up 20 and 20, give you 45, 50 DK points. We haven't really seen that from Reggie, so I'd take Ayton over Reggie. What do you think about Cousins? Yeah, I'm not really on Cousins. With his price up, the fact that he only played 11 minutes last game, even if Zubac's out, we probably only get like 10, maybe 15 minutes from Cousins, if that. At 4,800, he's just too expensive now. If he was like 2K, I would really like him, but at 4,800, there's guys cheaper that I would prefer over Cousins. 4,500 for Portis on the 2-gamer, yeah, that's pretty good. Definitely like that, Suave. You think we'll win tonight? Honestly, I think the Clippers win again. I think they extend the series. And then I think the Suns win at home, Game 7. So, my prediction, Clippers win tonight. But I also thought the Suns would win last game, so we saw how that went. I think a lot of people did. Clippers will win, but Suns in 7, yeah, I think I agree with that. I think Clippers win tonight, but the Suns win at home in Game 7. 55 overall and 11% captain. Yeah, I knew he could be pretty high. I mean, he was so cheap yesterday. He started. He was clearly the best value overall. That's crazy, though. 55%. I figured he would have been like 70 or 80 on a showdown slate with how cheap he was, but that's kind of odd. All right, guys, if you got any last-minute questions, you can go ahead and throw them in chat real quick. Just going to wrap things up here shortly. Do want to mention, guys, for those of you that have not checked out PrizePicks, yeah, they are the sponsor of this video or this live stream. We partner with PrizePicks, going to be working with them moving forward. If you want to check out PrizePicks, link down below in the description, or just use promo code NOAH when you do sign up. And as you can see on the screen right now, PrizePicks is running a $1 million promo for new users. If you're a new user, make your first deposit. You get an entry into their $1 million contest. You pick, or they give you 5 players. You pick how many points you think each player scores, and if you go 5 for 5, if you hit every pick, you win $1 million. It's legit. So check out PrizePicks, guys, if you have not yet, and be sure, as always, to use promo code NOAH when you do sign up. So that way, you get your deposit bonus, and you also will get an entry into that $1 million promo. Ryan, $9.99 super chat. He says, "Noah, you're the GOAT. Good luck tonight." Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, my man, and good luck to you as well. Appreciate the super chat. Which superstar player has the most pressure tonight to perform? I mean, I think, you know, all the pressure's on Paul George right now to carry this team. So I guess he's got the most pressure on him. And he lived up to it last game. He was really good last game. Ayton or Holiday in the util? So Holiday, if you're talking about like the 2-game slate, I would rather play Drew Holiday, you know, since Giannis is not expected to play tomorrow. I'd rather have Drew. Thoughts on Cam Johnson? I'm fine with Cam Johnson as like a last guy in, but you know, I'd rather play Morris. I'd rather play Batum if Zubac's out. There's a couple other cheaper guys I'd lean to over him, but Cam Johnson's definitely viable. Man or Beverly? If Zubac is out and Beverly starts, or if Zubac's out and Man starts, I would take Man, I think, but that's definitely a close one. Reggie or Batum at captain? Both are capable of productive games. I probably would take Reggie there if you have the salary. But, I mean, Batum is another cheap captain I'm kind of fine with. I'd rather get to Morris because I think Morris has more upside than Batum. But, yeah, Batum, I mean, played 30 minutes last game with Zubac out. He probably gets 25, 30 minutes again if Zubac sits. Hey, you too, Victor. You too, my man. Have a great night. Reggie goes off tonight. I mean, yeah, he could. He played really well last game. He's been making shots. He's been shooting the ball really well. If Clippers make the finals, Kawhi will back a little motivation of – or – oh, you got to retype that. If Clippers make finals, Kawhi will back a little motivation of teams back. I don't know what you mean, Poyo. Thank you for answering our questions. Hey, sure thing, Maria. That's what I'm here for. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up the stream here. As always, guys, I do appreciate all you tuning in. Thank you for the super chats. Ryan, my man Victor, $5 super chat as well. I appreciate you guys for the donations. You know, as always, appreciate all y'all tuning in. Best of luck tonight on the slate. We should be back tomorrow again, or I don't think I'm going to be live tomorrow, guys. I'm actually going to be gone tomorrow afternoon, and then I'm leaving, you know, this weekend to go to Atlanta. So I don't think I'm going to be streaming till Monday, you know, till next week. But I'll still probably have videos up for tomorrow for sure. I'll have a video up for tomorrow's slate. But I wish you guys the best of luck tonight. We'll see you in the next one, guys. Good luck tonight.